What are you doing under there?
Crack! Boing, ding, 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 ding.
We're getting ready to go to Logansport to, I think it's called the Hemp Festival or something.
Wow. So we're going to this hemp fest in Logansport, Indiana.
I'm just gonna chew my hangnails till we get there.
You know what's really absurd? Is that here we are, a group of people waving the flag and being proud of our marijuana smoking. You know how much pot we got with us? Do you know how much pot we got with us as we're going to this hemp fest?
0, 0, 0.
Actually, I wanted to say hello and welcome to ROX. This is a locally, independently produced cable television program here in Bloomington, Indiana, where we're having Hoosier Hemp Hoedown and Hemp Fest and a trip to St. Louis, and just kind of a potpourri of things that are kind of vaguely related to one another, but they don't really make a lot of sense. So please don't look here this week for a coherent narrative. We just couldn't get our act together. And now I'd like to segue blatantly to the next item on our agenda, which is...
Okay. Oh, hello. This is a camera window angle.
So we've stopped here. Christy Paxson's butthole's dilating, so she's going to go
man,
take
I can
a dump.
almost see it dilating through that thin shorts she's wearing.
Yeah, I saw some brown stuff kind of dripping down her leg. And while we're here, we might as well pack up a bowl. Actually, we do have just a little bit of marijuana. Just a little bit. Probably enough to get us a little bit stoned. And then we'll be done.
All right.
Ting tang, walla walla, bing bang.
Why don't you, as a matter of fact, why don't you cut that off and put a new tape in so that we have one ready, okay? Known criminals, all of you, and then there's the cops behind everything. Look, it's Bloomington's local politician people. And you're running for some kind of office here.
Yeah, I'm running for state legislature. I'm an independent.
Y'all need to get started. We all do. And we'll get this thing whipped. We'll get it so that you can be free to do what you want in your home. Where you don't have to fear somebody coming and kicking your door in and putting a gun to your head because you're sitting there listening to music and smoking a joint. I mean, really, what is that about?
So what's this mean? Ignorance is no excuse for the law.
Well, you know any laws that are stupid?
Yeah.
Well, there's no excuse.
Hey, look, it's...
I'm not associating. I just came over to read his T-shirt, but I'm too ignorant.
Has anyone explained, by the way, that we're at the Hoosier Hemp Hoedown?
No.
Here in Bloomington, Indiana? Yeah, well, that's where we are. So look around you and that's what you'll see.
This is an episode called, what's it called? Gateway. And it's actually 2 episodes butted up against each other. 2 15-minute episodes or more or less.
Are they butting?
Hey, we're here with MU's Clothing. We're setting up some video stuff to sell with them, and we were told to speak with someone here at the front gate, but I'm not sure who it was.
Wow, how you doing?
All right, you?
Best thing I ever had. I'm doing just fine. Oh God, I'm not a
Okay,
tick.
it's not a tick, it's just a piece of...
Wow, and to think I'd never think to see you guys in person. I sit all day. I smoke in my stub, and I sit and I play. I got 10 pounds of Colombian weed, and I grew it myself from this little bag of seed. Roll it up tight, give me a light. Me and my weed stay up all night. Maybe I will, maybe I might stay up all night.
Hey, what happened? I thought we were supposed to be watching this show.
Oh God! So well, that was great. We just were able to play about the first 5 minutes of this great show. J&B Get Baked for these people before I accidentally changed the channel. And you know what? You need the remote to fix the channel. So, I guess we will have no more video for the rest of the evening.
Wait,
But oh well.
excuse me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the point? Isn't that why we came down here?
I've got my microphone in hand, and we're going over to talk to Miles Tillman, who is, I believe, the director or something of Indiana Bloomington Normal. And there he is.
You know, 63% of our prisoners in this country are drug offenders, which means victimless crimes. As far as we're concerned, if there is no victim, there is no crime. If you legalize it and take the profit out of it for organized criminals, there's nothing left in it for them, so there would be less organized crime.
I'm just pissed off at the government right now, and I want things to change in this state especially. It's so conservative.
If you were the President of the United States, how are you going to go on television and tell the American people that you've arrested 9 million people, that we've confiscated billions of dollars worth of property, that we have denied relief from suffering, for millions of people with cancer and AIDS and spinal cord injuries and multiple sclerosis and so on. You can't, what are you going to say, oops?
Wow, look at that. What does your mom think of you?
She does not think of me mostly. Needs to be more people here supporting this effort.
Yeah?
Definitely.
I just found an artifact from Hempfest.
What is it?
A screen.
Wow.
Uh-oh, somebody's busted.
Now if you could just find some marijuana, we'd be set.
Well, this year, our 4th year, the Panthers are kicking it off with a spring offensive. That's what we're calling this rally season's activities. And the motto is, cover the earth. Cover the earth, number 1, with pot plants.
Right on!
Take those seeds you've been saving up all winter, get out there and put them in the ground.
Right on!
Put them someplace where John Law can't find them.
We're taking a little side excursion to someone's car that we know, and this is what we've been hoping for all day. And this is the moment.
What the fuck? Chad, man, you've got the setup here. Hey, look! Marijuana.
Yeah! This is a handmade bowl.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Looks like a mushroom. Kind of looks like an elephant, some people have said, but...
Just let it be known that in Kentucky, we're finding candidates who will stand up and run for the top offices, who are willing to step out of the shadows and say, hell yes, I smoke pot. And all it ever made me want to do is become an attorney and kick your ass. When I get to be governor of Kentucky, come down, we'll smoke one on the Capitol steps. Thank you very much.
We put a lot less planning into this television program than in a lot of television programs. And we don't have a script, we don't have a set. The tapes, the different tapes that I have, how much footage is there really? How much is it going to fit into? I don't know how it's going to come out in the editing booth until I get there. So that's one of the reasons that things might not make sense sometimes.
Half the episode is about, hence the term gate, is about St. Louis, which is the gateway to the West. And hence this other part of the show is about Hempfest. So
which is thought to be a gateway drug.
Which is been, you know, what is
described.
Yes, described. It's been purported.
Yeah.
But it hasn't ever been proved that it's a gateway drug. So
yeah,
you know,
gateway to other drugs.
So we just really combined 2 themes into one great episode.
Yeah.
It's nut-rific.
So before we move on to this St. Louis footage, we're going to mix a drink because, of course, that's what my job is, bartender. This is going to be called a stone fence, which uses this stuff. This is called Applejack. Now, there's a brand name there, but just ignore that. Just pour a couple of ounces in here. Now, you may be wondering why the hell I'm mixing a drink when Christy already mentioned that, you know, we're going to St. Louis. I'm kind of transitioning. The whole point of this drink is simply as a transition, kind of leaping over the fence. We've been over here in Dunn Meadow all this time, and now we're leaping the stone fence into the road, going on the road to St. Louis. Oh, I'm adding something here. What am I adding? I'm adding about 4 ounces of draft cider. There's people gathering around. Look at this.
Hi, Bart. What you doing, Joe?
I'm mixing a drink, and you're going to get to taste it.
Cool.
The last thing is a couple of drops of bitter, because I'm kind of bitter, actually, because, you know, I didn't go to St. Louis, so you won't see me until the very end of the episode. And I'm bitter about that, goddammit.
Oh my God.
How do you like it?
The initial taste is like hitting you like a brick, but then after a while, the aftertaste is kind of cool.
Well, we'd love to dawdle here, but we've got to go on to St. Louis, so we'll see ya. Squirt it. Yeah.
We're off and ready.
Beautiful downtown St. Louis.
The gateway to the west. Oh man, I hate this. Tell us the secret of the gateway. No, you must find it on your own, Luke.
Let me wipe off the lens a little bit.
Look how strange it looks like here.
As you can see, we're at the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, which is officially known as the, what is it? The National Memorial Jefferson Westward Expansion Memorial. And, well, I think that's just bullshit.
I don't know. I think I might be a little allergic to arches.
I don't know about this expansion thing. It reminds me kind of that Schoolhouse Rock episode that I watched so many times as a kid about Elbow Room, and what a great thing it was that we just kind of moved across the country and chopped everything down and built strip malls in their places. So we were wondering actually what effect the arch might have on the psyche of the citizens of St. Louis. It seems to me that having this big piece of metal here might be a conductor for some kind of strange, some of those strange cosmic rays that permeate our universe.
I was thinking, that it is just a random piece of art just stuck here, and it's just kind of frivolous. It's gay. It's just, it's there. It's an arch. It's really non-functional. I think it's mostly just a marketing tool, and that's a way they could, you can make keychains out of it and pot holders, and they just built it so they could sell a bunch of shit. Doesn't mean anything. What if we go up in that tram to the top of the arch and we look at our life crystal in our hand and then our time is up?
What?
I'm getting scared. There's no window.
Oh, it's gonna be fine, guys. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, okay. You're just about there, guys.
There, look. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
From the mountains.
Yeah, you can see the arch. I couldn't see.
I find the cars driving by are sort of hypnotic, peaceful.
You're so mellow.
Yeah, maybe I should just get high more often. Bart, honey? Bart? Give me a kiss, Bart. Wait, that's not Bart.
So you're just moving in. How long have you been here?
1 week. Lloyd Jones, I dedicate these toenails to your new kitchen.
Wow, is that a little fun?
You messed the paint, cameraman. Fuck you! You smeared my paint job. job. Is this one of those items that you get out when the people who gave it to you come over?
Oh my God! It's a rocking cow.
That's a rocking cow. Get the cow. Get the cow, Bailey.
That's practical.
Oh, goodness, you find this so tiresome, this filming.
Art.
What a beautiful sculpture here in the park.
Hey, though, it creates an echo. Echo. I was right about that arch inspiring the citizenry just to make art as they wished for their own pleasure. I mean, look at this.
Wow. This is art for the people.
Yeah, look, art for the masses. I mean, they didn't have to spend a whole lot of money on this, and yet you can get a lot out of it. I mean,
well, I'm sure that a lot of the everyday citizens of St. Louis just love this.
Yeah, I mean, look at it.
Get rid of this.
Lewis? Yes, I guess someone's art encroached on someone else's, I think is what we're seeing here. Don't really know what to make of that one. That's a toughie.
Well, do you like this sculpture?
No, I don't.
All that has come before is merely a dress rehearsal for the reality of now. Hello, I'm Barton Everson. I'm naked, and I'm smoking marijuana. We're on vacation for one short week, and we're doing all that we can to make that seem like an eternity. But what does this mean, you ask, in terms of real human activity? For me, it means smoking marijuana. Time dilation. Have I explained the concept here? When you smoke marijuana, sometimes a minute will seem like an hour. Time just seems to expand. And that's, if you only have 70 years to live on Earth or so before you die, then why not make it, seem as long as possible? It's kind of hard to tell if you're in focus if you're just looking at yourself. So take a look at the world around you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're watching ROX, the program that dares to ask the question, is marijuana really a gateway drug? In other words, does marijuana lead to the use of hard drugs? Well, let's take a look at what happens in the real world. Over in Holland, marijuana has been more or less legal since the 1970s. And since then, use of hard drugs, like heroin and cocaine namely, has declined. So this would seem to be the opposite of the gateway effect. It's kind of a negative gateway. And that's not just true in Holland, it's also been observed in these United States. For example, in 1993, the Rand Corporation did a study which indicated that in states where marijuana was decriminalized, hard drug abuse, as measured by emergency room episodes, decreased. But really, it's just a matter of common sense. I mean, wouldn't you rather get high? By the way, this information comes from a pamphlet called Marijuana Myths by Paul Hager of the Indiana Civil Liberties Union, a drug task force. If you'd like more information, they can be contacted at area code 317-635-4059. And now on with our little program.
The hot rollers are heating up, and I'm getting ready to cook. I am domesticated, okay? I've been talking to my friend here, and she really enjoys it, this domestication thing. I mean, fuck the televangelism. Look at this. This is communing with nature. Man's best friend's been getting over something on us, people. Man's best friend's got the easy life. I'm gonna have that easy life with my domestication plan. One of the tools to bring about this grand plan is the Clairol Aqua Curl. I got Clairol. It's a company you can believe in. Got the cops. Down! It's okay, baby. It's okay. Get out now. But, I also believe that it will help control my mind by putting an actual implement on my head
control your mind.
Yeah, and then think about the domesticity plan, and there'll be some sort of electric impulse from these electrically heated rollers, and that'll help reinforce good behavior. It's for the 90s. These are the Cape Fear underwear. Right here.
Cape Fear.
It says wanton violence, panic, and big dollars at the box office. I'm not a role model. That's right, I already know that. I'm not a role model. Let me encourage you to look a little deeper. Now, there are a few things that you're going to have to accept about me that maybe I wouldn't even necessarily recommend, but it's just part of my sick, fucking psychotic makeup, that I have to have a few little quirks, okay? Yeah, my hair is done, ready for the guests. Well, now we're ready to serve the guests. Wow, this fine treasure. These are the guests.
And then, we ate dinner. And let me assure you that it was a delicious meal. But rather than share that exciting event with you, we thought we would bring you this.
And an Anarchy Diary, lad. We can do whatever the hell we want. Kearney.
Yo, Hickleberry.
Hickleberry and Kearney.
Hickleberry and Kearney. Now that's a good fire there.
How sweet that water.
Now that ain't Sprite, if you're at home.
That's whiskey. Love that whiskey.
My big brother caught the house on fire one time. He's filling up the lawnmower with gas inside with the garage door closed. Now that was a dumb thing to do. He's filling up the lawnmower with gas with the garage door closed and everything. But then he started the engine, still with the door closed, which is still a stupid mistake. You never should fill it up in the garage there with the door closed or started in there. And the spark from the spark plug, it ignited the gas that he spilled on the floor, and it caught the garage on fire, and it burned the washer and dryer. And I remember our babysitter, Julie Foster was her name, and she called the fire department. And my brother, since he was older and a little more responsible, he also called the fire department, and there was like 24 police cars and 869 fire trucks here, and it was big. It was a bit like a 12 alarm fire, and they all came. It was just our garage. It was just a garage.
Burning.
And
See, Billy Conrad and I
the washer and dryer
took a plastic milk jug full of gasoline and carried it down. So we were camping for our first night, and we were smoking cigarettes and we copped a beer. And
cigarettes, that's some good stuff.
Hey, I said, man, I just wish Steve, what the hell was his name? I just wish Steve and those guys could see me smoking these cigarettes so I'd know I was cool. But anyway, so we would spell out gasoline words in the sand and then light them on fire. And then after about, less than a quarter gallon, we got bored. And you know what it's like to be bored with a 3/4 gallon plastic jug of gasoline that you could just sit in the middle of the campfire?
You just gotta take it up to some new level. Is that what you're saying? You gotta make it exciting.
Well, he sat there and he put that damn thing right there in the middle of the goddamn fire, and just before I realized I should grab it out.
Right there on the fire, right there by the fire, on the fire, like right there on the fire. You're saying in the fire there.
Right in the middle of the fire. Woo, that's hot, baby. That's a hot fire. And voosh!
Exploded. Went up there in the sky. Well, you can't see nothing up there.
About 30, 40 feet in the high.
In the high?
About 30, 40 feet in the high.
In the high sky.
Kearney, master of the nose flute, brings such classic tunes to you as Pomp and Circumstance. Yes, your graduation day. On CD, tape, or LP.
Gordon Lightfoot's The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Barry Manilow, I write the songs. Bohemian Rhapsody. Queen. Kearney, nose flute master.
My country takes
Hello, Bartender Jay here, holding the cam and speaking to you, frankly and honestly, about an embarrassing, terrible thing. I was wandering around here in my kitchen the other day, looking for a bottle, just a drop of booze anywhere. I was searching through the cabinets, looking for anything that could fill my gut and lighten my proverbial load. And I was searching through the cabinets, and I opened this one here, and up at the top, I discovered this. A bottle of, not a bottle, it's a box, actually, of bran flakes. Now, you may notice that this box is kind of swollen on the sides. It kind of puffs out there in the middle. This caused me great fear and alarm, as I thought that, well, maybe there was some kind of thing growing in here, botulism or some sort. And so I opened it carefully and discovered an even worse fact. Yes, unanswered viewer mail. So I pulled it out and checked it out. There was a lot. It made me sad. I decided something. I decided that I'd read one of them. God damn, it's a long fucker. 1, 2, 3, 4, Jesus. Lots of pages to deal with here. I saw your recent show called J&B Get Baked. I wanted to thank you for having the courage to put on a show about marijuana use. I was looking forward to a more informative show. I was not completely disappointed, but I have to admit I was a little discouraged that all you showed was people partying. I would like to have seen more facts brought up, like how much money is wasted on locking people up just for smoking pot. I really don't like TV or the radio because it is usually so filtered and opinionated. The wealthy people who run the corporations, which run the media, who in turn are run by the dictating politicians, are to blame for this. I hope you understood what she was saying. I wanted to say I just don't understand how you go about putting on this program without a hassle, especially after you speak with the police, who obviously know who you are. I would like for you to answer that question for me. Oh, I guess the question is how we were able to do it. Well, we just did it and hoped that the consequences wouldn't be bad.
What, by smoking?
Smoking pot on TV, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, you mean you haven't been spied on?
Oh, no,
bugs in your house? Or?
I don't know about that. You know, the phone kind of made a little clicking noise every once in a while after, seriously, it did happen. I would also like for you to change your format to a more informative one. If you have already had these topics, I'm sorry to bring them up. Sincerely, Joreen Decker. Joreen, actually, I hope that you found this program that we just completed a more informative one. And stay tuned, because in the future, we promise to bring you the deepest, most philosophically complex arguments and thoughts you've ever experienced anywhere. So, see ya. Oh, and one more thing. If you, the viewer of this fine little program, or embarrassing little travesty, depending on how you look at it.
It's really a studium.
A studium, yeah, as camera operator Jenny B just stated. If you'd like to write to us, do. The address is on the screen, and
3241.
That's the P.O. box number, in case you're wondering. Yes, please write to us. We'll send you all sorts of things in the mail. Just don't send us a thing of value, like money, for example. Bad idea, because of course you can see the riches that we have surrounding us. We don't need money, and we can't ask for it. So there. All sorts of things in the mail. Just don't send us a thing of value, like money, for example. Bad idea, because of course you can see the riches that we have surrounding us. We don't need money, and we can't ask for it. So there.